Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has announced that the state of emergency in Rivers State will officially expire on September 18th. He expressed optimism that with the expiration, the State House of Assembly will resume its legislative duties. Wike made the statement after casting his vote in the Rivers local government elections on Saturday. President Bola Tinubu had proposed the emergency rule earlier this year to prevent political unrest, suspending Governor Sim Fubara, his deputy, and the State Assembly for 6 months. Wike stressed that the intervention ensured stability and created the enabling environment for peaceful elections at the grassroots level. The minister emphasized that the political atmosphere in Rivers State has normalized, noting the peaceful conduct of the local government elections. According to him, with elected representatives now in place at both state and local levels, the state is good to go as emergency rule winds down. You know, when the emergency rule came, both of us sat with it on this discourse. I mean, it's just now 6 months has passed so fast. What are your thoughts on this report?
So far, so good. And it's really amazing how we have raced past 6 months in glory. You know, I mean, in glory on behalf of the citizens who have been able to, you know, withstand the storm. The citizens of River State who has held their own.
Right.
The citizens of River State who on their own maintained law and order and became law-abiding, and waiting patiently for the governor they voted for, you know, because the emergency rule, we thought will bring a new phase of life in River State, and also, you know, going a long way to show us what we hitherto missed from October, is it October, November 31st, 2023, when the political imbroglio started in River State.
Right.
So, but it didn't go down well. Just like I said a few moments ago in my intro, that when we say stakeholders, I think some of us that are opinion molders are political and societal watchers, you know, whom ATN has given such platform to, you know, air our opinions and to shape the society, because we have the pulse of the people. We are with the grassroots, you know, so we are also the type of people the government should listen to and not fence themselves up. Just like I said about Jonathan, he said that even when you say there are cabals, now people have their friends and they also have their elders, those who has gone through the positions in which you are occupying now, you know, to also listen to them and take some clue from them. But in the part of River State, the 6 months, as Wike said, is winding down. How will it be remembered? That's $1 million question. You know, like on Saturday, I was on a sister radio station for situation radio program.
That's in the elections.
Yes, as concerned the River State local government election, and we did not even get a call from any polling unit. So the emergency rule winding down is another thing. What have we achieved, and what is the roadmap? What are the things laid on the table for the governor to continue from?
Before we talk about the things laid on the table for the governor to continue, you know, when we spoke here, you were quite in support of this emergency rule. Do you think, by your opinion, any strategic changes had happened giving the rise to this emergency rule for 6 months?
Going by what has transpired within the 6 months running now, I am a keen supporter of Deputy Minister Nyesom Wike because of his kind of leadership. He's someone that is astute and someone that speaks truth to power. He speaks his mind, and which is one of my virtues too. You know, I see him as one who stands for what he believes on or in, irrespective of, and that has made him stand out. And another thing that endeared me to him is that all the people he allegedly accused, either if you call it alleged or if you call it direct accusation, have not come out to debunk any. So if a man is talking and is pointing at you and is asking you to come out and debunk or come out and face me in a debate, you know, you wouldn't take such a man for granted. He's only someone who has no balls to speak that way, that will be hiding under the guise of one or two things to speak. So that made me give my full support. And also, it was here we called out Semilaya Fubara for him to know that the people that he has surrounded himself with after the fallout with the FCT minister are not going to do him any good. And true to it.
Right.
It was on this table of truth that I told Fubara that a day will come when you will be alone. If he continued to go the way he was going, and he continued, and where did he end up? Today, he can attest to how many times his phone rings. He can attest to how many times his colleagues and his friends comes around, and also the time he has lost, given the projects he have at hand. And also, he will also be able to say to himself, if the 8-point resolution that took place at the villa is not the thing that also was given to him through the Supreme Court. So, if you just oppose it, who lost and who won? But we are here telling him, the few of us who could speak through to power, even some of our colleagues jumped gun or ship to begin to speak on two fronts, which I decided not to. And at the end of the day, I was vindicated. But like the question you asked, the coming of the emergency rule, which cumulated into this election.
Who was said to be an initial period of 6 months, which is still open to extension, as it were.
But from what Mr. FCT Minister have said, I don't think we are seeing extension, because all of the biddings of the masterminders of the emergency rule has come to bear. The governor has been given all the statutory bodies in the state, parastatals, commissions, and all whatnot have been filled up. Then even those who were appointed, solats of various local governments, we are accusing fingers. We are also pointed that these are subservient members to the group of Mr. FCT Minister. And again, we have seen how the election went. You know, handing over River State, that hitherto been PDP state since 1999 till date, still having a PDP governor per se. Because the last time I checked, Fubara is still a member of PDP, because his name is in the National Working Committee that is organizing the National Convention of the PDP that will come up in November 15th to 16th. So the interplay that and the power play that Mr. FCT Minister did in this election, I hope it doesn't backfire, because his strength is because when you go to negotiate, you negotiate from your position of strength, from position of advantage. So now I feel that Mr. FCT Minister might be somehow disadvantaged, because if what has given him the balls to be able to, you know, play his way around with the federal powers and having his foot in PDP, so to say, is because of River State is under PDP. But today, you can't say that River State is under PDP, because they say that politics is local.
Right.
So you have literally handed over the structure of the state to the APC. You know, in my own view, this is my own view, that what he has done, you know, the fallout of the results that turned out in River State as regards the 2023 presidential election, which has not wind down till today.
It hasn't.
The dust is still raising.
Right.
And nobody has answered so many questions. Even I myself, I voted during that presidential election and National Assembly, but I couldn't access the same, I've shared it over and over again. Right. I couldn't access the same polling unit on the day of governorship election, which was on the 18th of March, 2023. So you could see what happened. So, Mr. FCT Minister, I don't know what is playing his mind, but in my view, PDP can now, have the balls to oust him, because now PDP are not getting anything from him, because you cannot tell me that with the structure playing out the way it is now in Rivers State, with APC having 20 local governments and PDP 3, it means that any result we see in 2027, so to say, those who will live to that time, because some of them have immuned themselves to live up to 2027.
All right.
So when you now say that APC carries the day in presidential election, nobody will blink an eye. But why the dust was raised is because we know Rivers State to be a traditional PDP state. You understand? So this interplay and the power play that we have seen in these elections, I hope it doesn't come to backfire him. Because PDP will now say, you have nothing to offer us, which might, begin to, question his stand with the PDP. Then in APC, which are not fully declared a member, those local government chairmen will be taking instruction from the APC national and state, which are not a member. So I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. Right. So many questions more than the answers we have seen already.
Right.
Which Mr. City Minister knows that if he enters PDP, APC today, there are so many people that will oppose him and he will lose some of his powers. That's the truth. But all the powers he's wielding is because he is using PDP to play the us rich in order to negotiate his power and whatever he gets from the federal. But now, I don't understand what is going on.
One last question before we move on to our next report. What do you think the future of Rivers State is, given the fact that the governor is coming back with the House of Assembly members? What do you think, given everything that has happened in these 6 months, do you think their horses have been gone, tensions have been resolved as regards all the lots of challenges they had in the past few months before the president declared the emergency rule? Do you think that moving forward, we won't get to see all of those misunderstandings and we'll have a more trident state?
The truth, Ruth, is that we have peace on or from the graveyard. Because I did not, all the reports I have gotten this morning and yesterday, Sunday, and I was on the studio, I didn't get to see, which was one of the rhetorical questions I asked while I was on air on Saturday, that House of Assembly members in Rivers State, they are a PDP. We have so many PDP stakeholders who are hitherto going to vote for an APC candidate in their local governments. Do you understand? So they will then go out and cast their votes for an opposition party. That is, I don't know the kind of politics we play. On Saturday, I was also wrapping my mind around the Shehu Shagari and the Buhari coup that happened. Because if you see the picture of Shehu Shagari, those that saw him, maybe when he was president, but when I saw the picture, you see a man that is docile, humble, and gentle. I was asking myself, what could have led somebody to plan a coup against such a person? Because that means the reflection of your physical appearance does not indicate what you give out. So we now read that politicians were running the country amok. And that's what is happening now. When Mr. President became a law unto himself, even the RISEC election, this RISEC that conducted local government election, you find out that the same Mr. President had to tinker with a particular part of the constitution, suspending it in Rivers State. When we know that if there is any alteration to be made in the constitution, it goes to the National Assembly with 2/3. Two of them joint as National Assembly with 2/3. Then pushing it to the Mr. President for assent and is it Gazette or ratification? And some amendment will go to the state houses of assemblies to get their 2/3 before it will become a law. That's how the framers of the Constitution made it. It's not by fiat that Mr. President will now wake up every day and become a law unto himself. He is the Constitution, he is the Supreme Court, and he is the arbiter. So in which country can those things? So if something happens in Nigeria today, will they call out the citizens to go to the street and protest against the military taking over? When they are bastardizing because of selfish interest and greed. This is how, you know, I started wrapping my mind around what could have happened in 1983. That should made the Shagari administration short-lived, and that plunged Nigeria into a long military rulership and the dictatorship. It's happening now when politicians on their own are undoing themselves because of greed and quest to grab power. Power for what? For selfish interest, not even for the benefit of the people. You asked about Fubara. Fubara, on the last 2 months, I've seen how River State have been stored. No development, nothing is going on.
Even after the budget was
saying, some of us that sat here and spoke against Fubara, how do we feel now? If you ask me, if Fubara comes, I'll have to apologize to him. Because the emergency rule would have given me a different picture. A departure from what we were seeing before we entered into emergency rule. But what did we see? The ring road project had been stalled. The Transcarbary road, all the things.
Even after the budget was passed.
Goodness, a thing was that Fubara was able to commission the state fire service before he was asked to go. And I was even asking him the question. The red biro people were telling you that you had, what are you signing with it? I told them that a time will come when the red biro become useless to you. You can't make any negotiation or sign anything on behalf of the River State people or government. And it happened. But he didn't listen to some of us then. If Fubara had listened to some of us, he wouldn't have been here. That is my anger. If Fubara had listened to some of us that were telling him the truth, that reconciliation they were dodging, and they were telling him, did he not go to reconcile? So River State would have gone past this. I was one of the people that came out and said to 2024 that Fubara, River State has gone past 8 billion, that making budget in billion when you want to catch Lagos State in terms of development and other. Lagos State has gone to trillion since for the last 5 years or so. And this one, he now did, as if he had me, he did 1.1 trillion. This one, that they jacked 1.48 trillion thereabouts under a bus. So we told Fubara, let me not say me, if I told Fubara a lot of things, go and call up some of my shows here. So, but Fubara didn't listen to us. That is my anger. But at the end of the day, you're not going back from point one. And even more disadvantage. Who knows how many commissioners they are going to give him? Who knows? So Fubara's coming back is being stifled.
So this is coming back, you think he's coming back to a disadvantage point?
Totally disadvantaged. Totally disadvantaged. They have been given all the statutory members of the boss and the commissions and parastatals. You have been given local government chairman, even in his own local government. Recall, Ruth, that when Governor Emoeno of Akwa Ibom said, before he defected to APC, even gave Senate President Godswill Akpabio the respect of a PDP, because it's a tradition in Nigeria that whatever party that is ruling a state conquers the state, local government-wise election. It is not only River State. Why we are talking about this peculiarity is because APC is now taking over. Why Wike seems to be the strong man in River State, but is in PDP. Then Emoeno left the local government of Godswill Akpabio and gave it to APC for respect and acknowledging that this is a political figure, the number 3 citizen in the country. But what happened in the case of River State? Even they could not give the governor the respect of giving him PDP chairman. Despite the fact maybe he's not the person that we will select or appoint the person, so to say. What an affront. What an affront. And do you know how they made it? I know that Fubara conducted his own, and it was the APP
But there was a contest, a seemingly likening contest of an election, and people came out. Unlike what I saw last Saturday. I moved from one point to another before I came into the studio, and when I was going, I moved around. So the one Fubara conducted, we saw what looked like an election, though where I was against it was not adhering to some court order stopping it, and again for not getting the registration as mandated by INEC, which I faulted on Saturday. I said that if houses of assemblies are given powers to make laws to govern their state, as far as the local government is concerned, and other bylaws, why can't a body as statutory as state sex, RESEC for example, be given them the powers to conduct their own state voters registration for the purpose of local government election? The reason is, last Saturday, a lot of people, just like Mr. FCT Minister was saying, that they shouldn't adjudge the outcome of the turnout by those who are staying in the cities, that the local government election is local, that they should go to Eche, they should go to Edegem and other places to see how people turned out. But the only thing is that if the RESEC, for example, is asked to have their own voters register for the purpose of local government elections, those who would have hitherto traveled to Anambra during general elections, but they are resident in River State, they will be captured. And everybody will have the chance of exercising their citizens' right of voting or be voted for. But what happened on Saturday, a lot of people in the town, I agree with him, might not have registered here. And therefore, going by how they are